Hello, this is Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management, bringing you an important update about the economy and the investment markets. A lot of calls coming into my TV radio show about AI, artificial intelligence, and I want to address artificial intelligence. It's been really around for a long time, but it really has grown in really the magnitude of technology in the last couple of years, and it's going to become more so part of your everyday life. I continue to be struck by how often I hear from investors, Brian, this time is different. They think that the markets are going to collapse, that the economy is going to fall apart, that AI is going to basically have everybody lose their jobs. Recent commentary from all the different Wall Street firms about job losses or job creation or how AI is going to change the complete narrative of the world. Again, take it with a grain of salt. Remember, we are a market economy. We have never in history have had where a new technology has basically sunk the U.S. economy and really people lost all the jobs and nobody ever had a job again. Businesses are risk adverse. Consumers are creatures of habit. Remember that. Professionals and professions alike look at AI as an opportunity, in my opinion. You need to look at it too. Are jobs going to be displaced because of AI? Certainly, some will, but other jobs will be created. I think investors need to understand that there's always going to be new technologies, new opportunities, and ultimately for you, the investor, it's the investor who takes the emotional part out of investing that's going to benefit. Even if it displaces jobs over time, it will create more in other areas. Remember, the jobs are here today, and the same jobs may not be here tomorrow, but they'll be different jobs. All jobs are not going to vanish into thin air. Employers, consumers are going to redirect capital where it's going to be best supported or the best opportunity for growth. History offers us a clear picture. Fact-based lessons from the past on technology and how it's transformed in the past into the future is going to be no different today. Think about this. Agriculture back in the 1800s, roughly 83% of U.S. workers were employed by farming. Today, under 2%. So you go from the majority of people worked in farming to 2% or less today. A single modern farmer needs approximately 165 people compared to just 3 or 5 in the 1900s from the USD. At the end of the day, agriculture output has soared even as labor input sharply declined. But what happened with all those people that are not in farming anymore? They had different jobs in the 1900s. Things grew. The economy grew. Other opportunities grew. Think about the horse-drawn carriage and transportation to the automobile around the 1900s. The U.S. had more than 21 million horsepower transportation vehicles. Horse-powered. Think about the ecosystem that supports all those carriage makers, the blacksmiths, the stables, feed suppliers, all those people that worked in that industry. Most of them lost their jobs, but they had different jobs, better jobs, and they ultimately made more money. So what does history tell us? It tells us AI will probably be no different than horse and carriage and automobile back in the 1900s. Let's talk about the telephone. Remember the days of the switchboard operator? Many people worked in that industry. In 1950, approximately 350,000 women worked as switchboard operators for the phone company. Today, basically zero. The industry changed, and it changed for the better. Did all those switchboard operators lose their jobs? Sure. Did some retire, get displaced, get new jobs, better jobs? They sure did. That will be no different than what you're going to see with the AI revolution that we're going to experience over the next 1 or 2 decades. Things will get better for those workers, and people will ultimately make more money. Think about bank tellers, and then it went to the ATM. Widespread adoption of the ATM started in the 1970s. What was the prediction? That all the banks were going to be out of business and nobody would need bank and bank tellers would lose their jobs and bank employees would all be put elsewhere? Yes, a lot of them did. but banks are still thriving today. They don't have to employ as many people per dollar raised as they did back in 1970. But those people all have new jobs, and realistically, probably better jobs. Let's talk about manufacturing and automation. Think about manufacturing in the U.S. Jobs peaked at around 20 million in 1979. Ever since, employment in the manufacturing side has decreased. And why is that? Productivity. And a lot of that has to be around technology and automation. AI is going to be the next big boom. It's going to take decades to unfold. There's going to be winners and there's going to be losers. But at the end of the day, if you invest wisely, you will be a great beneficiary of reaping the profits. These examples that I talked about earlier demonstrate the resilience of a market economy. Technology eliminates specific tasks. Capital will flow where it's best opportunity and best and well treated. As we adopt generative AI, I expect the same adaptive process to play out. Human expertise, relationships, oversight will continue and will be highly valued. But remember, there will be some job losses, there'll be other job growth and gains, and ultimately the consumer is going to do quite well. If you believe in technology, if you believe in growing the U.S. economy like I do, it's important that you position your portfolio for the future. So whether you're 20, whether you're 85 years of age, you can be a growth investor. Age has nothing to do with risk. It really has to do with upstairs in your head and you handling the emotional part of volatility. At Resny Wealth Management, we focus on helping clients maintain a long-term perspective through periods of technology and economic change. If you would like to discuss these trends and what this means for your future, please don't hesitate to contact Resny Wealth Management. We do manage larger portfolios. As always, feel free to forward this information on your friends and family so they can get the same high quality information and financial education you receive. Resny Wealth Management grows from great clients like you. Referrals are always greatly appreciated. Make sure you do keep us in mind and listen to my radio and TV show on the weekends.